Hello, Blitz fans of all ages. It's me, Plumcastle, here discussing the newest update that will be soon coming to World of Tanks Blitz, Update 7.9. And by far the biggest change is that Wargaming is updating the tutorial system. And to kind of show you what I mean by that, let's look at the old tutorial system that I recorded just this morning. It is called Proving Grounds. It is honestly very dull and boring. It says, "Welcome to training camp." Okay, that's interesting, but beyond boringness, let's see how the tutorial actually does in teaching. So, it's not very intuitive on a computer. I had to click a bunch of times in order to get anything to happen, and you can see it's just showing you how to look around at certain objects, which is good. You do need to know how to turn your camera and how to drive forward and backwards and etc, etc. So, we move on to this front circle here that it leads us to, and then you can see I actually spotted the enemy. I think that was a little bit too early in the tutorial, but then it has me turn around and then we move on to the next circle. So we drive there. It's fairly straightforward, just showing you how to maneuver around the terrain. And then it gives us our first enemy to shoot. And it's telling us destroy the enemy tank. Very straightforward. Okay, but what do you mean by that? Does it mean I can just shoot at the tank and the tank will die? It really doesn't show any armor here. I can't even zoom in. I'm just shooting at this random tank and penning every single shot, either because I know what I'm doing, which is probably not the case. I have a feeling that tank literally has no armor and you can penetrate no matter what. It's kind of hard to tell. It's not telling me I'm ricocheting anything, so I can't really know. And of course, he's just a robot, and so he's bouncing every shell. And next, we come to this little lookout here, and this is where the tutorial gets a little bit unhelpful. And so here it is telling me to zoom. That part is helpful. But then you can see here there are some gray spots. I'm just shooting at this tank. You shoot at the red spot, and it'll tell you that the front of the tank has the thickest armor. And while that is usually true, you can usually penetrate the tank. And if you are a light or medium, there is usually very little armor there anyway. So to say that the front is the most heavily armored is not always the case. And it is also saying that the back of the tank is the thinnest, which is usually true. The back is usually where you want to HE, but keep in mind you can't always get to the back and you have to know how to get your shots in. So it wanted me to go over there to get a side shot at the tank, and I decided, no, I'm just going to shoot this. So you can see in some of the gray spots I can actually shoot. I do not believe you can penetrate that tire you see on the front. It's just these few thin, weak spots here. And you can see I am getting shells in. It's not as efficient maybe as I'd gone to the side, and APCR, if you have it, which since it has a higher pen, would definitely help here. But you can see I do eventually clear out the tank just by shooting it on the front here. And then I of course have to move over here to finish the tutorial, and the next step is telling me that how to follow a moving target. It says right here on the top, attack the moving tank. A moving target requires you to anticipate its position, which is true no matter what you're shooting, whether you be shooting a gun or a tank in this case. And then it is saying, try to aim at the front of the tank or ahead of it. And while yes, that's what you want to do, there's really no demonstration here. In my opinion anyway. I mean, maybe this is enough, but you can see here I'm comfortably shooting even in the middle of the tank because it's close range. You usually don't want to shoot too far ahead of it here. I will show this at this point. You can see if I shoot too far ahead, it's not going to go in. Shooting ahead, usually you only need to do it if you're shooting very, very long distance, which of course this demonstration is not. So I just continue to shoot him. And then once I do kill him at the end here, it then tells me that this is complete. Now, this is the bulk of the training, oddly enough. Not a whole lot, just drive around and shoot, which isn't really telling you a whole lot of what you're supposed to be doing, to be honest. Now, the training does go on. You do get on this map with a few AIs. You shoot the other AIs. I don't think you can even win. And once those two battles are up, you get into some actual battles that still have AIs, but at least there's some more real people in here. And I do have another problem with the AI system. The AIs are very, very dumb. They do not know what they're doing, and they can't shoot straight. Also, the AIs, for example, in the games if you shoot at each other, and then you die, and anyone else on your team that was real dies, the bots on your team will just automatically let the other team win. It's really frustrating. And you can see here the rest of the tutorial is just going through how to research parts of the tank. And with that, let's go ahead and take a look at the new system. So you can see here we have 3 tanks. These are totally unique to the new training system, and you will not see these in battles as far as I'm aware. And you can also see that the tutorial system is a little bit more detailed. You can see they're really trying to demonstrate how the controls work, such as the firing, the aiming, and in a moment here it should even tell us, yes, the objective to destroy all the tanks or capture the base. Very straightforward. It tells you, I like this part. It shows you a better example of armor. Just shooting here in the tutorial, you can't see this, but this was just a still, but the tutorial actually paused here to tell you how to penetrate armor, and where that red is what you don't want to shoot at. This is simply just their garage system. This is step by step as you play each of the different tanks. It'll level you up to the final garage, which is literally the normal garage you would see in game. I really like this. They showed the light bulb. They showed you what the light bulb and how bouncing armor works. Bouncing damage. And then finally it leads you to the end of the tutorial. Of that tutorial, I don't know if it leads into the previous tutorial I talked about, but if it does, that's just a little bit extra to reinforce. I remember back with the light bulb, it took me ages to figure out that meant I was spotted. Now, beyond that, we also have some new aesthetic changes. You can see that mine's got a bit of an update. It now looks like a mine. They've added some buildings around. You can see they're just a little quick glimpse at that. And sorry, I forgot this part. They changed the storage system. It looks a little bit different. Let me know how you like this down in the comments. I'm not a huge fan when they change stuff like this. It just gets rid of what you remember there being. I don't know. Like I said, just let me know. I hope this helped with any questions you might have had about the new update coming out. Hope you all enjoyed, and as always, have fun, good luck, and happy tanking.